Hey guys, it's Dan from Life Begins at 30, and today I'm going to go through reviews and look deeper into the reviews that given the 1-star reviews, the 5-star reviews, the fake reviews, and we're going to look at them predominantly in Turkey and Istanbul, as that's where my hair transplant was from, and I'm just going to give you an insight into looking for yourself before choosing the clinic that you want to go to. It'd be awesome again if you could just subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to my channel. Like this video and share it amongst other people who are looking at doing a hair transplant. Share it to all the bald guys, share it to all the receding guys, the guys who you think might need a hair transplant. Don't give them grief because it does affect people mentally, but just pass it about. So the first clinic that's come up is Hair of Istanbul. It's widely known. It's got a 4.9 star average review, and it's got 413 reviews. So straight away, if you were looking for a hair transplant in Istanbul, Turkey, and you type it in on Google, this is the first one that's going to come up. So you're going to look at it, and the first review that you can see is a 5-star review, talking about how, after months of research, this guy found it was the best and most reputable professional clinic that he'd been to, that he could see, and he had a 10-day experience. However, he hasn't spoke about the results that have come through. He hasn't talked about his hair treatment, or he hasn't talked about what's actually happened. He's only talked about the procedure that he went through and the treatment from start to finish. And that's where we're going to start off this video with, is the fact that people here are reviewing clinics but not reviewing the results. They're reviewing what you actually get through it. But there are a few that do review the results, and that's the ones that you've got to try and decipher out of all the reviews that you're going through. So when I was looking for my reviews, when I was trying to look for what clinic I was going to use, the big thing that I would look for firstly was pictures of results, because pictures paint 1,000 words. And straight away, this Hair of Istanbul, there's not any pictures with the reviews, but there are a lot of 5-star reviews saying how they would recommend them to everyone, and how the experience was amazing coming from wherever country they'd come from. But it doesn't actually talk about what's happened afterwards. Now, it's probably been about 15 to 20 reviews that I've been through now, and I found my first genuine review, the review that's really stood out to me, and the one that I would look at in Hair of Istanbul that looks genuine. And he talks about how he booked it up just over 4 months ago, after having research and other people that he knows went to the clinic and had good results. There's your first thing. Have a look what other people have been, where other people have been to. Look at videos on YouTube. Have a look at results on YouTube. Don't just go for reviews online, or especially Google, Trustpilot, or Facebook. He says how 100% assure anyone who's reading this that you will not regret your decision, even if you're travelling from afar to come to Turkey. And he talks about the only bad thing about the operation is the anaesthetic injections, which I can tell you, I can definitely relate to that, because they are a bit painful, very painful. And I would advise anyone reading that it is a slight shock to the system having procedure done. I can also relate to that as someone who's also had a hair transplant, because it's still painful now, and it itches all the time. He talks about the swelling after 3 weeks of work off. He's at 4-month stage, and he's already delighted with how his hair's looking at the start. And then he talks about 6 months and 12 months. I mean, it's not the full result, but finally I found a review that's not been while he's probably been sat in the clinic. It's actually afterwards. So Hair of Istanbul now is changed up a little bit. It's not just been reviews of people who've had the procedure. I've now found one that someone is like after the process. So then I go into the lowest rating, and I have a look at the lowest rating one, and the first one comes up as, these are unprofessional and they made me miss my plane. They had all my flight details, even called Sura and Ahmed to confirm that I was leaving tomorrow. No one showed up to take me to the airport. Thank God I had some Turkish lira to take a taxi to the airport. So he said here that they don't have English speakers to translate, and I've read quite a few reviews that say they do have English speakers to translate, so I don't know whether he's just pissed off with them that they didn't pick him up. I I wouldn't say that deserves a 1-star review just because maybe they've got it confused with communication or they haven't picked them up at all. You should be reviewing on here the results and what actually the hair transplant looks like at the end. Yes, okay, the procedure also, because you're paying for the procedure, but the main thing that people want to see is the results. People want to see is whether you're over harvested or what you had, FUE, FUT, or DUI. And straight away he's marked at 1 star just because he missed a plane. But did he? Like, where's the proof? Show me a picture. I'd like to have a little bit of proof here. Again, the next 1-star review is from a year ago. So this one talks about how the pictures company's Instagram page, on which the results looked amazing and somewhat hard to believe. He's right. Don't trust Instagram pages and pictures, because there's a lot of hair transplant clinics that will use other people's pictures and say they're their own. That's why a lot of the hair transplant clinics now have got pictures with their logo on the back, and you'll see that a lot. If you start seeing hair transplant clinics that are giving pictures where they've got just a blank screen behind the back, do start thinking, well, is that actually this hair transplant clinic's results or not? He also talks about the person not replying to him and about getting a quote for 5,000 grafts. He also says that he needs to look in the mirror to see how many grafts I have. Again, he actually, though, hasn't had the operation at this place. He just calls them very unprofessional and take out health insurance if you're planning to use this place. It's a 1-star review that I think is unfair to Hair of Istanbul, but that's my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion on things. Another 1-star review saying no answer, and then the response to the owner is, which number have you used? And another 1-star review saying why the comments always 5 months ago. Again, these are 1-star reviews that aren't deserved, really. I haven't found a 1-star review that looks genuine yet. So the next clinic that's on the list is straight away Dr. Serkan. I've not actually heard of this clinic. I'm sure some of you have, and please do comment below if you have heard of this clinic. But it got a 4.8 review out of 1,906 reviews. I think this is definitely the most reviewed one that I can see. So this is quite interesting to see what 5-star reviews have come through and whether they're the same for my clinic, and how they have been reviewed. So the first three 5-star reviews have been quite recent, and again they just talk about how the operation was really good, how the hotel was nice, getting transferred from the pickup. But you've got to remember that in Turkey now, the whole thing is that you get transfer, hotel, operation all included for just under £2,000. And yes, don't get me wrong, I would give a 5-star review if I was just reviewing their procedure and not the result. I would give my clinic a 5-star review because it was pretty decent. But I'm going to now have a look to see if I can find any genuine 5-star reviews and how far down the list it will be. So not far actually down the list from the top, I found a review, one review from this guy. So it might be a fake review. I don't know. Like, I normally look for guys who are like local reviewers, guys who've done 50 reviews. You sort of know that that's a genuine person. Normally, don't get me wrong, could not be. But it's in here. It says, a leader in his field. I've actually done the operation twice and highly recommended this clinic. The results have been genuinely outstanding. The staff is extremely friendly and helpful, and they've catered to my very need. Brilliant. So there you go. That might be a genuine review, and if it is, if he's had the operation twice at the same place, he's already happy with the same results, that he's gone back to the clinic, that could be quite a genuine 5-star review there, and that was only done 2 weeks ago. So this one here, I've got another review that says, his team made our procedure and process very simple and pleasant. His explanation was what we need, and thoughtful and pleasant in our individual needs. I'm certain my result in a few months. You're certain in your result in a few months. What happens if it isn't? You've just given this company a 5-star review, and you're certain that your results are going to be really good, but you don't know that. And he also says that he'll make him beautiful and look 10 years younger. It might do, however, it might not. So do be wary of all these really high 4.8, 4.9 star review places with loads of reviews, because they are just reviewing, or I'm not saying everyone, but most of them are just reviewing the procedure that you're there. So I've now been over probably about over 100 reviews, and I have not found one single review talking about the results of Dr. Serkan. Not saying he doesn't have any, but so far most of the reviews here, these 5-star reviews, have pretty much said that the procedure went really well. Happy to can't wait to see the results. I also see a lot of reviews from the Serkan, from Dr. Serkan, where the guy who's reviewing, or girl, has got a picture of themselves, a full set of hair, with like a blue screen or a white screen in the background. It looked like a very professional picture, but yet they've only reviewed it once, or they've only had one review on Google. I always get a bit wary of these ones. I mean, firstly, if you've got a full set of hair, why are you reviewing for a hair transplant? Secondly, I always look for the people who look genuine, as in, so we got one here who has done a local guide, 82 reviews, and also posted 100 pictures. He's given a 5-star review and said how he is really happy with it. Now that one looks like a genuine review, and it's not a review about the results, but he's looking forward to his results coming up. So do be careful about those reviewers who, I'm not saying they are fake, but they quite possibly could be, and you get a lot of them on these hair transplant clinic review sites. So I go straight away to the lowest rating, and the first one was left 3 weeks ago, and he says, I was left with massive scars at the back of my head, and I definitely never received the amount of grafts that I was told I would get. They took 4,500 grafts, and it looks like they've planted about 1,500 at the most. His picture of himself is him with wearing glasses, and he's definitely receding. You can see that. So this one actually looks genuine. I was feeling low about my hair situation before I came here. Now I'm extremely depressed. That is quite upsetting. No one likes to see a guy who's depressed. Stay away. The Google reviews look good, but my experience was horrendous. So pretty much what I've said before I even looked at the lowest reviews here, pretty much what I've said is sort of coming together now. But they have responded actually they've searched on their CRM system, and it appears you are not one of our patients. Unfortunately, we come across many reviews like this that contain such offensive language. I mean, he hasn't said any offensive language, so then again, this could be them trying to mitigate the fact that they've got a bad review. You just have to be careful, and this is the truth of reviews that I wanted to go through today. So I'm going to move on to Clinica, which is the third one that's from the top on Istanbul hair transplants. And this one has got 595 reviews of a 4.7 average. Very high average for a lot of reviews, so I expect this to be pretty good. Again, first review talks about how brilliant the experience was from start to finish. 5-star reviews. They've reviewed the experience, not the results. The second review, that's 2 months ago from Clinica, was actually a 1-star review straight away, saying they would not recommend the clinic. The results were less than satisfactory. The building is lovely and the marketing is great, however the service from them is poor. You meet one doctor, the rest of the operations are performed by technicians. Sort of what happened in my one as well. I've been left with scarring in my donor area, the front hairline in the shape and the crown, which looks as bad as if not worse when I had it first done. Been to several clinics in the UK and they believe it's a poor job. Think twice before using this clinic. That sounds like a genuine review to me. I don't know if it is, but it sounds like a genuine review. So straight away, that's a big one to have on the second review from your company. Again, more review after review. They talk about how their experience was, how many grafts they've had. Cannot wait for the results. That's the big part. Cannot wait for the results. So again, a 5-star review, but don't know if it's worked or not. And like I alluded to in my previous videos, I was told to give reviews at the end of my operation, on Trustpilot, Facebook, on Google, and I refused to do it. And I don't know what these clinics are like. I've never been to them. I can't review them myself. However, it would be good if you have been to these clinics, please do comment below and let me know if they asked you to put a review in. Because it sounds to me like right now that they're asking you to put reviews in as soon as you finish the hair transplant. So that'll be quite interesting to know. So after finally finding one from about 20 reviews, 25 reviews maybe, I found a local guide, so someone who's reviewed quite a lot, 26 reviews. He's given a 5-star review for Clinica, and straight away it sounds like a genuine one, not only because he's a local guide and reviews quite a lot, he also places pictures up. I did the operation 6 months ago. That's what I want to hear, that's what I want to look for straight away. It took 5 hours and 30 minutes, 4,000 grafts, work was so professional, results right now is great, and I'm so glad for that. The thing I don't like is the nurses talking too much to each other during the operation. It's hard to communicate with them, you need to ask them to call a doctor. I can relate, I know what that means. I know that it was exactly the same for mine. You know, if the nurses are there for 4.5 hours and not saying a single thing, I'm sure they'd get bored. However, it didn't really bother me. I do highly recommend this clinic because of the technique of the operation. Others don't do it in terms of timing and taking grafts out, and the grafts stay outside the body for about 2 hours or less, which will be maintaining lively grafts that guarantee the success and operation. Those are the type of the reviews that you need to be looking for. Definitely the 5-star reviews. I'll move on to the, now I've finally found one after about 30, I'll move on to the 1-star reviews and see what they say about Clinica. Now this is quite interesting because the third 1-star review from the top is, I'm going to even say his name because I know for a fact this guy's fake. It's from a guy called Tom Derrick, and you know that for a fact that some companies made this up, and this is what I mean by fake reviews. So if we look at his reviews for Clinica, and in the Clinica review he's given 1 star. I searched very good for the other black market clinic in Turkey. No doctor for operation, and they are lying. They are saying that there is no doctor. I'm speaking the way he's typing. In Turkey perform the operations. I know many doctors are performing the operation. Search and look good. Do not believe only fake reviews. So straight away, if I see a 1-star review that looks a bit dodgy, I'm gonna read into it. I click on his profile. I go to his other reviews. He's had actually 7 reviews. So I was like, oh, well, it might be interesting to see what other reviews he's got. Dr. Cynic, where I actually had mine, he's also 1-starred that 11 months ago. So the same month that he went to this other clinic, very bad results. He then apparently went to Get FUE Hair Clinic 11 months ago as well. Dr. Ayhan Kolak is a good doctor, I recommend, 5-star. So for me, he works for Get FUE or is part of the Get FUE clinic. There's another one here, Dr. Serkan, 1 star, 11 months ago. Here all the positive reviews are fake, be very careful. Yes, it is black market clinic. Unknown people are performing the surgery and it's very dangerous. There is no doctor. He's then done another review for another hair transplant clinic called Ilith Hair. The clinic is not legal, so there is no doctor for operation. Before the operation, just ask who will perform my operation. Nurses and unknown people are performing the operations. Do not look only the price. Them all reviews are fake. Be careful. So straight away, this is the sort of thing that you need to start looking out for. Is not only the 5-star reviews. Have a look if there's if they've done other reviews as well. If they're starting to review 6 or 7 clinics that 5 stars, there is no way this geezer here did 7 different hair transplants in the exact same month. And this is where people start getting confused as to, well, this is a really good clinic because it's got hundreds and hundreds of 5-star reviews. How many of those reviews are fake? How many of those reviews are real? And this is just a great point here. The guy that I've just found here, Tom Derrick. I mean, if you can find him, have a look at yourself and research this sort of stuff. So now I'm just going to quickly go through and I'm going to search through hundreds of reviews. I'm going to try and find a genuine one with maybe some pictures, or a one that's a year that's been reviewed a year ago, or they've reviewed it after having a hair transplant a year from this clinic. This might take a while because, as you can see, there's a lot of reviews here that are just full of bullshit. So after searching, I actually found a place, MCan Health. Now it's got 120 reviews and 4.4 star average. That seems genuine to me. It's not too many reviews, it's not too little reviews. A 4.4 average. I actually looked at the 1-star reviews in the MCan, and their 1-star reviews weren't actually for hair transplants, they were for body cosmetics such as 6-packs, breast implants, apparently MCan Health can't do these sort of cosmetics. However, they can do hair transplants, because this guy's reviewed it, saying he had an FUE hair transplant with MCan Health 8 months ago. He did a huge research covering both UK and Turkey and finally decided to go with MCan. First contact was very smooth, chose a luxurious package because why not? Why not if you've got the money, eh? The clinic is just fantastic, spotless and sterile, and you will feel the serenity. I enjoy my breakfast in the beautiful garden. The rest is just smooth and close to perfection. Hugely recommended, really. I've already suggested 4 of my mates to go for it. So, even though it's only one review that he's done, I'm not going to take it as a fake review, but I'm not going to take it as a real one. It looks pretty genuine. I'll do some more research into MCan, because I actually met a guy in the airport during my hair transplant, and he'd just gone from MCan, and he'd been recommended by his mate from Scotland. The only thing that I noticed with the MCan is that they didn't give him a black hairband. That, or he'd taken it off, I'm not sure. But I was wearing a black hairband for 3 days to stop the swelling move down to my face. He didn't get given one, he told me, and I was a bit confused as to, I thought everyone was supposed to get given one because it stops the swelling going to your eyes, so you can actually see. I've seen some horrendous ones on YouTube where people can't actually see themselves. Oh, sorry, I can't actually see because the swelling's made their eyes swell up. So 3 reviews down from the one that we've just seen for 8 months. This guy reviews, my full 1 year has just finished and my hair is just awesome. I had 3,200 grafts on my frontal area where I was having a good amount of receding. Now I'm just back to the days where my hair is so dense. Thank you, MCan Health, very professional and patient-friendly company. My nephew was with you just 2 months ago and he also loves you. That to me looks like a genuine review. There's a picture of the guy, his hair looks good. You know, I'm happy with MCan so far. The 1-star reviews don't seem to be anything. So for me, at the moment, after all those clinics we've just been through with thousands of 5-star reviews, MCan to me looks the most genuine, yet it's got the least amount of reviews and the lowest average. So this is the sort of stuff that you need to look for. So now I'm going to try and find a less reputable hair transplant clinic and see if we can decipher some of these reviews and see if I can find any more fake ones that are really obvious or that are less obvious, and I just look into it a little bit more. So I found one here, 4.4 star average, 100 reviews. I look at 5-star reviews, same old shit. It's just telling me that it's a good experience that they've had with Sak Ekimi Merzeki Sak Ekim Istanbul. I apologise if I've got that wrong to people who are Turkish that follow me. I can't speak Turkish, I'm not going to lie. However, I went to their 1-star reviews, and Sarah Mortis, I'm going to name it because I know for its fact it's fake. She writes, I don't recommend this clinic. I thought the woman was a doctor. No, she is nothing. Unfortunately, only a person with a university degree in a complete different area. My lawyer found out that we got an issue because they messed up my head. Be aware and stay away. 6 months ago that review was. And they wrote back saying, we would like to understand your problem to your solution. Please contact us. Now, Lorena Paz, another woman, has reviewed this clinic as well 9 months ago, so 3 months prior to that review that I've just talked about there. And she writes, I don't recommend this clinic. I thought that woman was a doctor. No, she is nothing. Unfortunately, a person with a university degree in a complete different area. My lawyer found out that we got an issue because they messed my head up. Be aware and stay away. And this is the sort of shit that happens all the time, and I see it all over the hair transplant clinics. And when I was trying to search which one I was going to go to, I seen 3, 4, 5 different people saying the same stuff, and it's normally either 1-star reviews or 5-star reviews. So this is the problem. This is the problem, and this is the problem with reviews and how people can just go for clinics without actually doing their proper research as to which one to choose. And I suppose I'd need to look at Dr. Cynic's because that is the one that I went to, and I can't be judgmental on every single one of them. So I will look at it straight away and see that Dr. Cynic is actually on page 5, so it's not even in the first 3 pages. and they've got a 4.9 average, so hitting much the 5-star, and they've got 658 reviews. I personally know that they ask for to be reviewed right after the operation, so before you get your results. So I know that a lot of these 5-star reviews, before even looking at them, are going to be just about the operation. And the first one that's done 5 days ago, the experience at Dr. Sinik's clinic has been excellent. As soon as you arrive, you can tell staff here do this every day. The speed efficiency of how fast your procedure chair is bewildering, but also very assuring. The hotel is very good and a quick journey to the clinic. The staff are all friendly and keen to ensure good results. I've already recommended this experience to friends who are interested in the procedure. Yes, I can recommend that experience as well to other people. However, I can't recommend the results because, as you can see, I haven't got them yet. We'll look at the 1-star reviews. Someone writes, not satisfied at all, pretty bad. Really good review there, so what's pretty bad? I don't know. Someone here has done a 1-star review a year ago. The hair transplant does not accept patients with HIV positive. I can tell you now that they do blood tests as soon as you get into that area, and if you're HIV positive, they definitely won't do it. And it's actually explained that I was explained that beforehand, and if I knew that I was HIV positive, or if I was unsure, I would go and get checked before I make the trip to Turkey, because I wouldn't want to get there, find out I'm HIV positive. Firstly, I'd be fucking distraught if that happened, and I'd want to go and get checked before I make this journey to Turkey. I don't know if any hair transplant clinic would see you if you were HIV positive, so do let me know if you know any hair transplant clinics that do that. I'm unaware of them at the moment. Another guy, I am glad in agriculture at the centre of Dr. Sinik. Very good customer service and distinctive and great staff. All the staff are friendly. Thank you all. 1-star. I think he's clicked the wrong star there. 1-star here. Very bad results. That's the Tom Derrick that we were talking about before, so we already know that that's a fake review. Another one, fast, cheap, unprofessional. If you want to spoil your chance, then go here. Planning zero, team assistants have zero clue. He's got 13 reviews, so I'm actually going to look into this because this could be a genuine 1-star review. So looking into his reviews, they actually look pretty genuine. He's got a few 5-star, a few 1-stars, all in German. I can read a little bit of German, but it looks. He's got 33 contributions to Google reviews. So that guy might be a genuine 1-star review, and he might have just been unhappy with what's happened with his operation. Okay, moving on to the final review that I'm going to go through is just another 2-star review from Dr. Sinik, and it's I'm 2 months into my operation or my transplant, and I've only got 25 to 30% of the grafts have grown. I'd say that's probably more than what I've got in my 2 months, as you can see here. My head is still numb after the operation. I can definitely relate to that, as I've spoke to in my previous videos, and I'm sure the feeling will come back, but the amount of hair growing is disappointing. I'll have to have another if it doesn't grow more, but not at Sinik's clinic. I think that's a bit mean on this clinic, because I'm not trying to defend the clinic. It might only get 25% of the grafts grow back. That's just a shame, and he might need more. However, he is only 2 months down, the same as me, and from all the comments that I got on my last video, which I'm very happy about, by the way, please do comment still, everyone explained how I shouldn't worry, and I wasn't really worrying about how much hair there is. It's more of the patch that's here that looks more bald than the right hand side, where you can see the hair started to come through. That's the only thing that I'm worried about, but I'm not going to start worrying until about 6 months, when I can actually start seeing hair. But yeah, so now we've gone through all these reviews, so hopefully this has give you a little bit of an insight into the review system for hair transplant clinics in Istanbul. I'm not saying that this is the same all around the world. I've not looked into the world, I've just gone into Istanbul, and this is what I was looking at before my hair transplant. I was looking to which one was the best, which one was the worst, and I started to notice all these fake reviews and reviews that didn't actually tell me what the results were like, and that's why I moved on to YouTube to look at people who have got hair transplants from certain clinics. and I believe that videos like the ones that I'm trying to do for everyone here do help, and I hope they do. Please do let me know if it is helping. But I'm hoping this video, the truth of reviewing about hair transplants, has given you a little bit of an insight, if you didn't already know, as to the research that you have to put in before going for the expensive, to a lot of people, hair transplants. Just to finally wrap up this video, I do want to talk about not only the reviews but people who comment on videos as well on YouTube. So on my last video I had a user named Joe. I can't find that user anymore. His comments are actually deleted from my last video, but he was having an argument with someone else about how Dr. Sinek's clinic wasn't as good as everyone tried to make out. He'd had a really bad operation there. He said that he'd been watching my videos for the past since the start, and he had at the similar time, and that was. But then also explained that it was 5 months ago he had his hair transplant, whereas mine's 2 months. So I then spoke to Joe and I asked him to email me pictures to my email account so that I could have a look at his hair and why he was complaining about his donor area being over harvested. So I looked into that, and after I emailed him, he wrote back, but then deleted all the comments, and they were wiped from the video. And luckily I screenshotted the comments before they were wiped, so I can pop them up now on the left hand side of the screen, and you can have a look at them. And these are sort of things that you've got to look for, is that a lot of people will write this sort of stuff under different accounts that quite possibly could be real, but then again they could be fake. But I hope this video's done well. I hope this video's done something for people who've been watching it. Please do subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you in maybe a month's time.